Hey everyone, Dragon here. As you guys have known, there has been some unfortunate reportings of Awakened Drakania performance, and quite the stigma surrounded around it. And good news, I do have a new rotation for you that will hopefully help you achieve better numbers while you're farming. I hope you see the same improvement I did, as I greatly increased my farming rate. To kind of set an example, I'm going to put up some images of known farming rates for Thornwood. We pulled 6,100 trash 2 hours in a row with just a 2 times loot scroll and this new rotation. So we're going to get right into it, show you some things, add-ons, and get you on the road. Really appreciate it, and thank you for watching. Let's jump in with some need to know. So as far as buffs go, we do have our Q block, which is going to give us 20 DP. A little nice bit of tankiness added on. You have your typical ear itch, and then also your class buff, Burning Resolve, which, you know, AP, crit strike, accuracy, and attack. But more importantly, if you're not someone who has seen my Succession video, Drakania does have a class exclusive portable church buff. Just grab 15 dragon scale fossils, melt them down using the heating. You can do this in batches of 400 if you want. But basically, it's just church buffs you don't have to go get. Now, you cannot stack church buffs on top of this, but you can do villas, kelks, droughts, crons, the typical stuff you'd use while you're farming. Just can't reapply church buffs on top of it. Alright, now there are a couple really important interactions we need to cover as how some abilities work. So as far as our main abilities we're going to be using Sundering Roar and Aerial Burst a lot. There is going to be some interactions with those, but we're going to start with the most important one, which is Legacy. Again, something I've noticed a lot of people have not mentioned. So Legacy can actually be input into your rotation to assist with damage and WP regen. Now, traditionally, you can switch stances by hitting Shift E anytime you want, or you can switch stances by inputting the opposite stances abilities. So, for example, backwards E will put you into Dragon Blood. Forward E will put you into hexeblood, sorry. But the interaction we're looking for is the input for damage, which is spacebar. So if you cast an ability in hexeblood and cast spacebar, you will switch to Dragon Blood, and you will do a frontal that does damage based on that. And it will also help you keep up your WP. This is integral. It does take a little time to learn. It takes a little practice knowing right when to hit the spacebar, but we just gotta make sure you're aware of that. As far as Aerial Burst, the big thing with the interaction is the area of effect. So if you just hit Aerial Burst while you're standing still, you're gonna do a giant AoE, kind of do a vacuum stun, and debuff everything. However, if you're using abilities and then hit it, you will do the frontward stab, which, as you see, this dummy over here got no negative effects. So, it's not a bad thing if you don't do the full AoE, but in a lot of circumstances, that's what you want. So, make sure we are using Aerial Burst without a previous input. So, for example, dash and then use it, and you can go ahead and prevent any hiccups with that. The next interaction is going to be Sundering Roar. You can just hold Sundering Roar's F key afterwards, and it will apply a burning debuff to add more damage. At lower level AP areas, not something you necessarily need to worry about. At higher AP requirement areas, it is not a bad idea. All right, let's get into skill add-ons. So for our core, I'm going to go ahead and be putting this on Sundering Roar. The extra protection for Sundering Roar is more imperative than having it on Tectonic Slam for what we are doing. Gives you just that extra second of not taking any additional damage or getting CC'd mid-combo. As far as skill add-ons, we're going to go ahead with this setup here. The only one that's really up to change that's not going to mess with the whole combo, these are integral, but it's going to be Sundering Roar. Now, you're always going to want HP on this. It's a very nice tool for regaining health. I personally went for the DP buff here simply because I do a lot of multi-pack pulls, and it just adds more survivability when I'm regenerating health. However, if you feel that you don't need the extra DP or you have a higher DP, you can go ahead and switch this out for accuracy. Help you clean up the mobs a little bit easier, a nice accuracy buff. And then, of course, will help you get back into the rotation with additional accuracy. As far as any other necessities needed, we're just going to go ahead and lock off Flow Obliterate. This is going to mess with your rotation if you keep it unlocked. Good tool for PvP. Not so much for what we're doing here. So just lock it off, and we just want to be able to use aerial burst without the flow. Alright, and the last thing we're going to be doing is just putting Extinction on our quick slot. We're going to be using that a lot outside of the flow from Sundering Roar. Also, you're welcome for my glorious sound effects.